YouTube, that's me down in the bottom corner. That's me in the corner. Yeah, so so there's no live stream tonight because I'm going out. I do have my bucket, but I'm going out. Let's have a look at basses. So, as always, same as the one with the guitar. You've got I've been given 500 quid by the owner of this shop to say, right, or a check for it. You're playing a gig tonight. It's a Sabbath. Okay, I'm in a Sabbath band. It's a Sabbath band. You've only got to play in standard tuning. You don't need to have two basses. You just need one. So you get a bass to do the gig, and you can keep it, and you can keep the change. But you're not allowed to sell the bass later on. So I'm not allowed to just get the one that looks like it's going to be worth the most money, play the gig with it, and then sell it for the most money. I've got to keep it. So I've got to be stuck with whatever it is. So I'm just looking at guitar here. There's this East Coast box stand. So this is from cheapest up. So cheapest up is basic box standard PJ. It's a PJ as well. So I suppose there's that wee mini one, which I was actually playing. My pal's got one. He only paid £110 for it. It was a few years ago. 150. Are you going to pay? I suppose it doesn't really matter for a tenner. Are you going to buy the East Coast? I mean, I don't know anything really about East Coast. I know there's something to do with Andertons where they're meant to be all right, but I mean, how? I suppose whatever you do, you've got to go in and try it, make sure it's not okay. There was ones. I remember they used to do SX guitars, and they were the cheapest guitars Guitar did, and they were really good. You know, it's like I think if you were looking at Strats, or you get the SX Telly, whatever it was, the East Coast equivalent, I suppose. Yeah, mini P bass. So how do you get up to? So you get a quartz. See, the shape of it's just no. I wouldn't. I would have no desire to have that. I would play it at a gig, I think, if I had to. If there was nothing else. Sonic bass. There, well, that one immediately is jumping out in it. So 170 quid for a blue. Just a blue P bass. I do like a P bass. P bass is all about, and to be honest, I would pay, how much was that? 170 was it? 170. So yeah, I would totally pay the extra 20 quid without even trying them. 140, an extra 30 quid to get one in an interesting colour. Obviously you could get a black one, it'd be boring, but yeah, I would totally buy that. And even so there's the vintage one, which is pretty much exactly the same. That does have a maple neck. I do like a maple neck. I'm sure that the thing is, I bet you anything that's a better bass, but I would take the Squire. Just because it's a known entity. I don't really need another P bass. It doesn't have the maple neck. I'm afraid I'm just going by look here. I know that the vintages are meant to be amazing. I would have to have a shot of it. I just don't see myself. Well, I would definitely put these two. You've got to try the two of them because they're both the same. Because it's possible just to see it out of interest. I would find that quite interesting going to the shop and trying the two of them, because obviously that's got the Squire name, the Fender name on it. That doesn't. How what's the difference between the two? I wouldn't really want an all black or an all white. I'm terrible with basses. I don't really like any of them. So these are jazz basses. It would be a P bass I would want. I see that. I just know. I mean, I don't even really care how good that is. I don't like that. I don't like the look of it. Ibanez GSR. I've got some packs. There's just higher up ones of those court ones. Again, the resale value of them is going to be pants, but I don't. It's just non-exciting looking. There we go. It doesn't look very good there. Well, that's okay. So that's a 290. That's a second-hand one. Yellow flat yellow custard colour. Yeah, see that. Oh, just. The thing I like about these a lot is like the bridge is cool, but like I love that output socket thing. It's kind of like a Strat one built into a knob, and then you've got another knob there. That looks like it might have concentric knobs, because if you've got two pickups, it looks like there's like the middle bits, maybe volume. That zoomed in very much. They obviously want you to see it up close. Maybe a wee part of that this video come up later on, but I'll be looking at that. But that's a used one, so that doesn't really count. I think all these came in short scale and long scale as well. But I mean, totally that. I mean, okay, it's not I don't know. I think that in kind of like a Jaguar or a Mustang or something. Yeah, over that, 100% don't like that at all. Well, it's not really that. How different is the? It's that it's kind of the Affinity Jaguar base. I, well, I'll go for the maple neck one. I think a Jaguar base is one of those ones that's like it never existed. Back in the 60s when the Jaguar did, it kind of came out as a Squire. Big fat humbucker. I quite like it. I would rather have a P-base pickup though. That is quite cool. What's that, 200 and something? 230. What does it tell you what scale it is? It's really not pisses me off if it doesn't tell you what the scale is. There's a 32 inch. Nice. That's one of my favourite. That's like what like a Japanese scale. My wee Fernandez is that, and so is my Aria Pro Thor Sound. I like the 32 inch scale. No, that we're not. That's right. We're not looking at that. We'll get to that when we get to the ones that aren't second hand or Lake Placid Blue. There's quite a few. That's quite a few blue bases kicking about. I'd go for the if it was a Squire Affinity Jaguar. And currently we're sitting at that P base. I think the Sonic one. There is actually another base which I've not seen here, which I do actually have other tabs open because there's a Sonic. We've got it on Guitar don't seem to do a Sonic Mustang base. I don't know where it sits. I'd imagine it's probably cheaper than the P base. Affinity P chip. I just like the look of the cheaper one. Oh, there's an RBX. They are amazing bases. So I've got one of them. Jen's got one. Oh, there's a Talman there, 240. Again, I would just immediately. That's stunning bass. It's got the. There's a JPAX one kicking about. A TBM 30 short scale bass or TBM 100. TBM 100. So there's a 30 and a 100. It would definitely be that one over over the black one. So I mean, this is one I would look at for sure. Again, they zoom in too much. They really want to show you the cracks on the plastic film and the scratch plate. Yeah, it's like if it was ideally it'd be somewhere in the middle of the zoom. Yeah, so it's basically a Mustang, Music Master, Duosonic type of Bronco. Oh, there was a Squire Bronco as well, 30-inch scale. I do like a 30-inch scale. I would use that for the Sabbath band, no problem. I would use that as it stands for the Sabbath band. And then there's the 100 is the one. Oh, okay. That's why it's the same price because it's got 50 quid off. So that'll be, is that full scale or just 32? 34-inch scale. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be tempted by the smaller one just because. I don't know, it's proportionally it looks right. I think it might be exactly the same body. It's exactly the same body. It just looks nicer with the stumpier neck. Yeah. See. To be honest, that the Talman is a rarity for me with basses. I think most basses are ugly. I quite like P bass is nice. Jazz bass is okay. SG bass looks nice. I suppose the Thunderbird looks nice, but I'm not a fan of these in the middle ones like these Ibanez GSRs or even the RBX. You know, it's just like these sort of there's a jazz, really a jazz bass. Look at that. But I mean, that's just an amazing bass, but I quite like that actually. It's kind of not quite a jazz bass, a wee bit different, but it's a chord. I'm going to buy that. Yeah, I mean, that thing's stunning, but it's 250 quid. It's £100 more than the. It's just, it's not, it doesn't have the look, does it? It doesn't scream, oh, play something like me, like nice and white, but no. I did the P bass pickup. There's a mustard yellow one. Yeah. There's an RG. It's X demo. Well, it'll be 350. Okay, about. And the EBO and EB3 look great, but I'm not going back there again. I should probably try a 3 again, but the EBOs are just they're just it's just not a good design guitar. They do look totally cool as fuck though, but they're just not good. And it's not even good. I was in a band, the guy, the bass player played one, and it sounded shit. It's not even like it was just because you're just because I'm playing it. You know what I mean? It was a terrible, big woolly, muffly, no distinction sound. Yeah, quite nice. The J thing wouldn't really bother me. I don't need it, but I mean, if it's the same price to get it with it, then I would just take it and then just not use it. Maybe one day I'll like popping and slapping. I'm still going on a bit. See, it's just okay. So we've got basically the ones I kind of don't mind. That's quite nice, just because it's a different colour. But these are just P basses, P bass, jazz bass, P bass, jazz bass. I'm going to go up to 500 quid. See if there's anything actually interesting. Jazz bass, jazz bass. I do quite. I mean, the RG bass, which I don't know. These are. I don't know if they're relatively new. I think they make them in every now and again. They make them. I think they made them in the 90s for a couple of years. And then it's not very common to see RG basses. They never made them at the time. That's the same bridge that's on the Talman. And you've got. Am I right in thinking that's the backwards way of putting the pickups? It's normally looking at the two I've got. I can see just now. Yeah, normally the Washburn Force basses do this as well. Normally, or so do BC Rich. Normally the that pickup's here and this one's here. They're split round. It's normally so you would get like a bassy strings and a trebly or trebly springs. This one will give you trebly or bassy strings, and there must be. To be honest, I don't notice the difference playing it. The basses that I've got, the Force basses, they sound great. So it's quite a cool headstock. I love the massive logo. I maybe quite like that. Not in black though. Jesus, no. Mind you, I could maybe get it JPaxed. 350 quid would be their normal price. Yeah. Actually, we're not badly stocked. It's just that there's so many that I just like, what kind of bass do you play? And I just wouldn't want to play any of these. Oh, that's a wee bit interesting. What's that? I've not seen that before. That's kind of going in the direction of the Taliman a little bit. The Taliman. Yeah. I quite like that one. Is that exactly the same as the other one? It's just the scratch plates making it look a bit different. I think it is. Yeah, there's basically the difference the scratch plate makes. And then door with a neck on it. Not really standard looking jazz bass. Jazz bass. Oh, there's the first Music Man. The vintage one. They are amazing though. I mean, I've had a couple of them. They're not 350 quid though. If you can get the older ones of them. There's something about Music Man. I don't really like the circular scratch plate. It's basically just a P bass, isn't it? Really. Although it looks a bit different in this particular photo. When you see them in person, it just looks like a P bass. A better looking RG. Oh, an Epiphone Embassy bass. I think my pal Ivor's got one of them. They've got weird pickups in them. It's kind of like a 60s guitar, a 60s bass. So you can kind of see, I don't know, like the Mamas and the Papas or something like that, you know, the bands, but not when you actually had a bass player you could really hear. I didn't really rate it. I don't really like the look of it that much either, but it wasn't really a very good bass. Whereas I think, you know, like the Talman or something like that, or the P bass just does the lot and it looks cool. Whereas that's kind of, oh, look at that one. Cosmic Blue Starburst. This must be it's a TBM 400. No, look like it's got the block markers and you see that is quite nice. That's the long scale one, isn't it? I think it would have the short scale one. Yep. They seem to like to zoom in on the Ibanez gave them higher res pictures. Look at the mental. Yeah. I think, to be honest, I would still rather have the stump. The shorter one just looks cooler. It's kind of like with Land Rovers. You get the 90 and the 110. The 110 is basically the same, but 20 inches longer, and it's got back seats. The weird one looks much cooler, but the bigger one's obviously much more practical. Oh, there's 400 quid though. That's what I played in that blues band, and it was a classic vibe. In that blues band in New York, apart from his had the metal cover thing that went over the pickup. It was all right. it was set up like a shiter. Really, it played terribly the one I played. But I kind of like the look of. I would rather have the proper full P bass pickup though. The wee thin one doesn't do it for me. This is up at classic vibes. There's a classic vibe Jaguar. So it's just basically these are just more expensive versions. You can see they've got binding and stuff. I wonder if they're. I wonder what the playing differences are in these. You know, or whether it's just more binding, nicer colours. Oh, there's a TRB. I've got one of them sitting in the hall. Great bass, ugly as don't want it. Oh, there's a BB. Again, these are the ones Billy Sheehan plays. I hear nothing but these basses being absolutely amazing. They've made them since the 80s. It's just ugly. It's ugly. £400 for an EB3. No, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't play. These are not ones I would play. I think we're still looking at that Sonic Squire. No, or the Ibanez Talman. The trying and probably the Talman because I've already got a P bass. Yeah, we're up at £400. We're now up at the point. We're now up at more expensive. I said I would go to 500. I'll make this the last page. We're now up at the point where I don't. These are more expensive than guitars that I buy, and I like. Obviously, a new guitar. I've got stuff much better than this. Yeah. I don't know if nothing's really jumping out and making me go, oh, I can't believe that's only £500. Yeah. Oh, there's the the Glenn Hughes one. I suppose we should look at it. I don't like it. I don't think. Yeah. It's got a Seymour Duncan pickup. It looks really cheap, doesn't it? Like for considering it's £500. I quite like the look of his amp that goes with that actually, but again I think it's only 50 watt or something. It's quite big. It's the same size as my wee Marshall physically, but I think it's not very big. It's 100 watt maybe. It's not the pure. Oh, that's all I would need. It's like in a Black Sabbath band. I need a couple of 100 watt or 150 at least. Yeah, we're out of it. A Kramer Disciple. I think Discipline's better. Or a Dan Electro bass. £550. What are they doing? Well, I mean, I'd love the idea of a Dan Electro bass. Maybe not that one, but £550 or £650. Just no. Paisley. No, so I mean, I would surely anyone who likes that, right, must look at a J-Pax and go, oh my god, that's so much. It's like, oh god, that's hideous. What are they thinking? How much nicer are the J-Pax is than that if you want something that's a bit exciting? I think they're even more expensive. 500, 700 quid. No, I mean, who? Anyway, right, I'm thinking we missed out on. I'm going to go to. It's not quite. It's formatted as well. So here we go. This is Merchant City, which is just around the corner from Guitar. Again, I'm choosing these shops because these are within. You can actually go and try it, because no matter how much somebody tells you that, oh, this is the best guitar or this is the best bass, you might go and play it and you're just the wrong shape. It maybe just digs into your ribs. It's just not comfy. Just because everyone else likes it doesn't mean you will. You know, you get that level where you're sitting there and it's like, yeah, well, it stays in tune, blah blah blah, all the important things. But sometimes you just don't get a vibe off it. There's a Bronco bass. Am I gonna be just gonna? How do I? Is it thinking about it? Is it because I had this page open a minute ago? There we go. Yeah, see, 170. I think that's it. Is that not exactly the same price as that Squire Sonic? See, I mean, the Bronco bass is amazing. They're fantastic little things, but I'm totally having the... Is that the Four Saddle Bridge? It's not letting me zoom in. But, I mean, it's got a single coil pickup, and, I mean, it's just not, that's not coming up to it. Not if it's the same price as the Sonic thingy, Sonic P bass. I'd rather have a P bass than that. But if it was where I feel it should be, if it was 170 for the P bass and 120 for that, maybe we'd be in. Squire Sonic Bronco bass. I think maybe it was a Bronco bass I was thinking about. When I said that there was a Mustang bass, it must have been a Bronco. I mean, oh, that one does have a 4-saddle bridge. Did that last one not have a 3-saddle or 2-saddle? This website's slow. Oh, look up what I've been looking up. It's what? Yeah. Great. Right. Okay. C-shape, 30 inch scale length, single. Two saddle chrome bridge. What said that? Four saddle hardtail bridge. There you go. So the Squire Bronco base is a fiver more. See, to be totally honest, I would pay the extra fiver to get the four saddle bridge. But there you go. So it's obviously just maybe that's a slight difference. So we've got an SX. I was talking about SX. A 3/4 size 30 inch scale, 180 quid though. And then there's a Squire Sonic California Blue, 180. I mean, you're going to pay. I'm going to pay the extra tenner to get the full scale P base. There's no fighting in that. There's an SX. I mean, these are good, but I didn't realise they were so comparatively priced with the. They're basically exactly the same price as the Squires, apart from you get like a fancier. You get a nicer colour sort of thing. Yeah, I think we're still looking at the Squire Sonic for the, was it 170, whatever, something like that. SX, a Hofner shorty vinyl, no. A Black Star Carry-On ST, I've never seen that one of these. Is that a Black Star mini bass? Oh, it's hideous, isn't it? How short's that? Look at the size of the pickup. That thing's tiny. What sort of scale length? If it doesn't tell you, I'm just going to go, they're dicks. It should tell you immediately when you're looking at a short scale bass. It should immediately say on it, and it should be very obvious. This bass is 30 inches long. This is. Compact size that retains all the playability and feel of a full size instrument. I see no mention. Scale length 23.46 inches. There's a 24 inch scale bass, so it's a shorter scale bass than a guitar is. No. That means it basically, see if I took like a wee Strat or something like that, a wee cheapy Strat, stuck a bass bridge and 4 tuners on it, it's going to be more. It's going to be 25.5 inch scale. That's 24 and something. So it's actually going to be closer to. I can't see it working unless they put very specific strings on it. But even then, there's no way it's got the feel. And there you go, 37 to 90. So they're not super light. They are lighter strings than I would have expected, though. And normally it's like 40 to 10 to 100 or 45 to 105. So no, I'm afraid I don't believe this bass works in standard tuning. I just don't think you're getting it. No, the wee red bass is going to absolutely smoke that by having an extra 5 inches of scale on it. Yeah, there's no way. Yeah, so never played one. Go on, Black Star, send me one, prove me wrong. This website's not as good as the guitar one for flicking through. Just the same one, the Infinity Jaguar. There's the Talman again. Again, it's one of those things, I don't know if you're talking about getting your first bass. Basses seem to be quite expensive. You're really looking at, I think, was the cheapest one not, I don't know, something about the short scale I like about it. You're really looking at 100 and... Somebody knocking at my door? Hold on. It was the door. What's in the bag? I'm sure it's really exciting, whatever it is. Oh, there we go. It is. Buckfaster Caster number 50 is on its way. As here is... Once I get into the bag, my Invader type pickups, which don't tell me they didn't come with mountain screws. That's annoying, they didn't come with mountain screws, but there you go. So, Invader type buckfast coloured single coils. Harking back to the very original, the first ever Buckycaster had these pickups in it because I had these pickups. I got them in a lot or something like that. And it's the sort of pickups you buy and then you go, oh, they'll be good for something, and then you never use them. So I made the Buckycaster out of them. So Buckycaster 50 and 1 have the same pickups in them. Right, what were we talking about here? I think we're just obviously you've got these SX ones, but it's 200 quid. I'm going to buy the Squire just for an advice to somebody else as well. If you're buying it, that blue Squire's the way to go. Or the Ibanez. No, the mint green Ibanez. Now they seem to be quite up on their. I would need to try that Squire Sonic, in case it's a real cheapie. I don't think it will be. It was 180, so it's an extra 50 quid. It's an extra 60 quid to get the Talman. I just think the Talman's a bit more interesting. I would have the Talman over that. I think if you'd given me my money and it was guitar, here's your 500 quid, you can keep the change, I would take the Talman and take my 260 quid away, rather than take the Squire and 200 and 300 quid. That's how I would do it, I think. Either this website or my computer's not doing this very well. No. Just going by shape, that's what's important. An extra bit more for the long scale Talman. I need to try them both, I suppose. There's that Ibanez with the scratch plate I quite liked. Is that exactly the same as the Ibanez I didn't like? That one? I think it kind of is, isn't it? It's amazing what a scratch plate does, isn't it? There's an orange one. No. Purple Heart fretboard, interesting. No. Right. I had I was looking at Harley Benton. I mean, not Harley Benton, obviously Thoman, to see what pushes people in here, because I bet you can get, well, there you go, a bass guitar kit style, 85 quid. Like B stocks, I'm not even going to bother. 85 quid you can get. You wonder, don't you? Is that, I take it that's like excluding delivery. That these are all. Are they? I don't think they are. I think these are just okay, so sorted BK standard series. It doesn't say anything about being B stock. Are they actually coming in at £85 for a PB shorty? Right. Okay, so this is a short scale bass. Scale gives you 762mm. That's dead handy. Well known for using millimeters. Give us the inches, bastard. I don't know. I think 762 kind of reminds me. Is 762 not the name rings a bell. Is that not a strat length? What's 762? 7.6. So it's 30 inch basically. It's where, or thereabouts. 30 inch is fine. I don't like going below 30 inch for a bass. So basically, it's just kind of it's basically that wee. It's a copy of that wee Squire when I was playing. 85 quid though. A jazz bass, 95 quid. It's a full size, 95 for the full size. I don't know. You can see why people get. And then that was the one. The first time I looked it up, you just look at it and you go, look, there's a B stock one. It'll only be an extra £5 for an A stock. Now you get a 51 type P bass. I don't know. I can see why people get attracted. You look at me and go, oh, it just seemed to be so good. Basically, they're all Harley Benton so far, then, really, aren't they? And different. I wouldn't buy a kit. Mind you, a kit you can probably put it back together. I don't think the kits are actually that much cheaper than the whole bass. Yeah, I don't know. Are these highlighted in grey because they're B stock? I don't think they are. kind of getting a bit... Rock series, you get a Warlock bass, 120 quid. I don't know. Vintage series bundle, 120 quid. It was £105 for a bolt-on neck, £111, 119 with a gig bag, a lead, a strap, and a wee shitty tuner. I don't know. I mean, it's like, if someone was to buy that, is it going to work? I just don't know. I worry about the whole amount of people they're kind of relying on, not knowing what they're doing. You know, kid gets it for Christmas, it buzzes and sounds shit. Kid just thinks he's shit on the bass. 2 years later, it's on Facebook Marketplace. That's it. You know, it's like, and Harley Benton won there because they didn't have to produce a guitar that actually played. And obviously you can send them back, but it's like the only way I would even consider any of these things if you were starting out playing the bass is if you knew somebody who played the bass, so you could get it over and you could go, here, right, Jim, how's it going? This is the bass I just got. What do you think of this? And if they just go, oh my god, this is fuck it, you just send it back. Or it might be alright. It would help if it was someone who kind of knew a little bit more about it, like me. Okay, Dakota Red, 140. That's a good bit cheaper than 138, excluding £10, 150. Okay, so it's an extra 20 quid you save buying one there. Yeah, I would much rather pay the extra 20 quid if it was a case of driving into town and actually getting a shot at playing it. Oh yeah. Square Mini P bass, 145. It's funny how they just look at it and makes it 155 and suddenly that seems an awful lot cheaper than 170, when really it isn't. Look at the number of Harley Bentons. Jack's Concert Minion. Oh, Buster had one. Kid had one of them. That was basically exactly the same as the Mini P bass, apart from slightly aesthetically. I think the one I had a shot of was Slime Green. No, was that Ian's? I think it might have been Ian's cousin had one. It was great though. It just had a pointy headstock. It was basically exactly the same. I'd probably take the Squire over the Jackson though. They've both been basically made in the same factory, but owned by the same people. Oh, like progressive series. So ones I keep looking at is we've not got to any of the the fan fret 8 strings, blah blah blah, all this B benders and stuff on it. It's only 150 quid. You're like, how good is it going to be? Not going to be very good. Sonic Bronco, 150. The Broncos are good. I mean, I've had a few of them. The thing is, you don't get them cheap. I mean, I have had a couple for like 50, 60 quid. That's as cheap as you'll ever find a Squire Bronco though. And which is, if you go up here, it's not too bad. They're 150, 160 quid. Look up Squire Strat, see how much you can get one of them for. You see them all the time for under 100 quid. Maybe it's just because there's so many Squires. What I'm going to do, I might do a wee, if I do this, and go this, and then grab me here, I can get a bit more room on. And hold on 2 seconds, I said it might be a wee sequence just by complete chance yesterday. My pal bought this. Ooh. So here is the Ibanez Talman, the short scale one, which I've kind of always wanted anyway. It might even just be right there. Where's the plug? Not actually even tried plugging this in yet. I'm going to do a video of it later, but I figured I might as well. I managed to turn that on. I did, but you've got to turn on the wall socket to get it to actually turn on. Now it's on. Takes a wee second. There we go. So this is actually very similar to the wee red bass. Okay, it's very wow. The strings on this are too thin. It's kind of playing a bit more like a baritone guitar. Whatever I've got on the wee red bass, which I don't even think I put actual strings on it, I think they were ones that came off another bass, were fatter than this, so it's got a little bit more tension. This is a little bit on the, see when you're playing the Sabbath stuff, you've got it down tuned, it's kind of more that, you can really bend it. Which is, no, I do quite rate this. I mean, I think again it comes to the whole thing of buying things second hand. My pal bought this. He said he bought it not by mistake, but it was just one of those ones he was looking at it and it was on eBay and it was like a buy it now 160 or something like that, which they're coming in there at 220, so that's a kind of reasonable or best offer. And he put in some best offers and ended up getting it for like 100 plus postage, something like that, and it's basically brand spanking new. If you can pick up something like this for 120 quid in this condition, yeah, totally, I'd have this over a Squire P-Base. It's got a nice. I mean, sometimes you look at shapes and you go, oh, it's something not interesting. Anyway, I'll wait till I do a proper video of this later on. So yeah, rocking. So as I said, no live stream tonight because I'm out drinking. I've got my bottle of Bucky and all that. So I might do a stream tomorrow night, depending on how hungover I am. But I don't think I'll be drinking. I doubt it very much. I'll not be drinking. But you enjoyed this. Is there anything else you think I can do? I quite like doing this, talking shit to the camera. It's dead easy. It's like, because kind of what I would do anyway. It's like, do you want to just, even if I wasn't making a video, do you want to just look up bases and imagine that you're 500 quid to spend? So I think the winner for that would be, I think it is, I'd basically go in, if I was going into town to buy a base, I had £500 credit note and I got to keep the change. I think the chances are I would come back with this. There's this. I would have to try the Squire Sonic. I don't think I would bother looking at the Bronco base because I would rather have the full-size P-base for an extra tenner or whatever it was. I would have to try the full-size one of these. But aesthetically, this looks right. It looks pleasing because it's got a short neck. There's something proportionally kind of reminds me of a Mustang, or I suppose a wee bit like the Bronco, but it's a little bit more compact. I like the two-side headstock. Works really well, makes it feel really small. I mean, it feels smaller than the wee vid base, which was weird. I'm taking the wee vid base out partying tonight, so I will. Yeah, you're not really saving much space with the wee vid base, I don't think. It sits differently, but it feels longer because it's got a long neck, whereas this one definitely, it's a bigger body, I guess. Look, height-wise, it's identical. It's exactly the same height, which makes me think that on this, because this is the same scale, I can't see it just now, I'm thinking there must be a gap between the edge of the bridge and the body on this, whereas on this one it's probably right on its arse. So it's pretty much, there's the bridge right at the arse of the guitar, there's the bridge, and there's like 2 inches in it. See? I'm that good, I know these things. But the neck on that is much more similar to this than the Squire Mini. The Squire Mini has a much thinner neck. This and that. This is maybe a little bit more like a full scale jazz bass girth, whereas that's a full scale P bass girth. I suppose I'd have to try this if I was going to try it. It would be an offset one, I think, because I don't have one. Yeah, so I'm kind of talking myself into it. I think I would try this. I'd have to try the long scale version. I'd have to try the Squire Sonic, that Sonic Blue, or the Sonic P-Bass. And I'd probably try, was it the Jaguar? The Jaguar was significantly more expensive. The one that kind of looks a bit like this, wasn't it? It was like, it was an extra 100 quid, wasn't it? And I'm a snob, so to be honest, I would probably rather have an Ibanez than a... I mean, this is not geo-branded at all. This is a full-blown Ibanez, which really doesn't make any difference, but still... And it's like just that, see the difference of having the output jack there. That's my favourite output jack ever, I think, to be honest. It works though with this bass. You can't just put a Strat output jack on any guitar. It looks shit. It looks wrong apart from when it's on a Strat. Whereas this you get away with. But that one that we were looking at must have a concentric knob. So we've got like a tone and 2 volumes that are on the scratch plate. Like again, if there was an option to save a tenner to get one without the P, without the jazz bass pickup, I would just pay the extra tenner, I think. But I would probably rather, it doesn't need it. If they could knock 40 quid off and get rid of that, yeah, totally. Get that jazz pickup in the bin. But then again, be good for if you want twangy. Like, why would you want twangy? But the guitarist doesn't turn up, so you're just playing chords. would buy bigger strings for it though. Obviously, wait till these ones are old and knackered. So in 3 or 4 years' time, when I was buying new strings for it, I would probably put thicker ones on it. But I can get used to the thin ones easy enough. It's not so much the feel that's different. They don't quite have the same oomph, same low end. Glad it was my bass I hit off there. Thank you. But in saying that, these strings, ancient strings, do give it a more muffled tone. Also, it's got a Washburn pickup, which is probably, I don't know what to get the equivalent pickup these days probably costs half as much as what this bass does. Really, yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, so I'll have to do a wee video of that. I've not put it out this week. I've done too many bass videos this week. People get bored of basses. So, rock on. I shall see you soon, tomorrow, maybe. Don't know, something.